Hello everyone, I'm Fekla Wilkie and we're live in Abuja. This is the Ballot. Listen, it's too loud. Many thanks for joining us tonight. Yes, it's a season of elections and the steam is very much in the air as Nigerians prepare for another round of elections. And with just 3 days and 10 hours away from the governorship election, many candidates are making last-minute efforts to convincing prospective voters on why they should be elected to lead the affairs of the various states. And of course, the presidential elections was a learning curve for political players and observers, and not forgetting the voters who have the power to either make or mar the prospect of candidates. And tonight, we continue our journey to sounding out contenders in Saturday's governorship and state houses of assembly elections. The whole idea is to hear from them directly on what they have in store for the people they intend to serve. My guest will be joining me shortly, but before then, let's begin tonight's outing with the news highlight. Ahead of Saturday's elections, Court of Appeal to consider INEC's prayer to reconfigure the bimodal voter accreditation
new
system.
bills and law.
Senator-elect exchange handshakes of victory as they receive certificate of return from INEC.
Professor Mahmoud has given us a credible election.
And group take to street to preach peace, love, and smooth civil transition. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja will consider the merit of the application of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, seeking the order of the court to reconfigure the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS. The Labour Party and its candidate, Peter Obi, filed a fresh application to be allowed to conduct a physical inspection of the BVAS that was used for the presidential poll. This action was a reaction to INEC, who is seeking permission to reconfigure its BVAS in readiness for the conduct of the governorship houses and houses of assembly elections. Meanwhile, Nigeria's president-elect, Bola Tinubu, is also seeking an order from the Court of Appeal to assess sensitive materials used by the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, for the conduct of the presidential election. The president-elect, through its counsel, Akintola Makinde, said he would need to inspect, scan, and make photocopies of some of the electoral materials to enable him to prepare for his defense against petitions that would seek to nullify his elections. Senator-elect for the February 25 National Assembly election have been presented with certificates of return by INEC. The mood, which has obviously switched from pre-election anxiety to post-election celebration, as returning senators congratulated themselves for a victorious contest, while first-timers were admitted with warm handshake by their ranking colleagues. The senator-elect received their certificates with great promises. Meanwhile, supporters of the All Progressives Congress have commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for conducting what they described as transparent presidential election that produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. Save Our Democracy group took to the streets of Abuja to preach peace, love for democracy, and support for a peaceful civil transition. The group urged those who are aggrieved with the outcome of the presidential election to follow the rule of law and avoid conduct contrary to public peace.
INEC, under the leadership of Professor Mahmoud, has given us a credible election in the history of this country.
While they come to INEC to say that elections are not credible, their members are in INEC receiving certificate of return.
And the presidential election has opened a new vista in our political trajectory. It is no longer business as usual, as there are no more usual suspects in the political playing field. For what is worth, so much has been brought to the table, from the voting pattern to the deployment of technology. INEC has simply made a bold statement. And as for the voter, take them for granted at your expense. In fact, candidates will have to try twice as hard in convincing the electorate for endorsements. And now to the issue of the day, we have our guest. He needs no introduction, better as is a tradition, we will do that. Our guest is joining us from Kano. He's the current Deputy Governor of Kano State, Nasir Yusuf Gawuna. He is the governorship candidate of the APC in the governorship election come Saturday. Your Excellency, you're welcome to the ballot.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you.
Okay, without much ado, we just want to ask you the first question, and that will be your planning for continuity, because you have been the Deputy Governor of the state. Now, the question is, are you opening a fresh page, or you are going on with a continuity program? Are you continuing from where your principal stopped, or you will open a fresh page for the people of Kano State?
Well, thank you for that question. And let me say that continuation in government is not about only your principle, but about the good works that are being carried out by previous administrations in your state. I have mentioned it severally during interviews like this and debates, that I have been privileged to be part of the successive governments or the previous governments. I've been part of the government of Malam Ibrahim Shekarau from 2003 to 2011, where I was the chairman of my own local government, Nasir local government. I've been part of the government of Engineer Rabi Musa Konkoso from when we merge and become APC, and at the moment I am the Deputy Governor of Kano State and currently the gubernatorial candidate of our party, APC. I have always highlighted that continuity is something that is very good in all the states. There are projects that have been started by the administration of Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, and also projects that have been started by the government of Engineer Rabi Musa Konkoso during their time. And in our time, when I am the Deputy Governor now, and the time of His Excellency Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has been able to complete a lot of good projects that have been started by the administration of even Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, and they were completed, and people are benefiting from it. And he's also completed the project of which he was part of when he was the Deputy Governor of Engineer Rabi Musa Konkoso. And so now, as the Deputy Governor of Kano State, me as Nasir Yusuf Gawuna, I have the experience and I have seen all the good works that have been done by this government, and I have seen where the mistakes are. And what I said is, I will take the good example of these our leaders, irrespective of party affiliation, and then put aside the mistakes. There is nobody that cannot make mistake. And every government has its own good part. And so I will take the good part that has been done by these leaders and our current government, and then I will continue from that, and I'll bring in my own ideas too. That's the idea of our government, if elected. When we are elected, I'll bring in new programs, new policies. I'm not saying that we are not going to make mistakes. Whoever said he is perfect, then he doesn't know what is leadership. As a person in government, I know where the mistakes are. I will try as much as possible to stay clear of the mistakes.
Okay.
And I am praying that if God destined us to be the ones that are going to lead the mentorship of this government, for him to provide us with the right people that will give us the advice, that is in terms of cabinets, in terms of the people that you work, and then the general public, because the community and the general public are part of government.
Okay, can I just butt in here?
You have to hand it over to the people.
Can I butt in here, please?
You have to protect it, even if they are not in your party. And so, this is something that I will do.
All right. If you can hear me, you have been hampering on past mistakes your principal has made. What are you doing? What are those mistakes, and how do you intend to correct them? If you can hear me, you have been hampering. You've been talking about the mistakes your principal has made. Can you hear me?
You said what?
If you can hear me, I am asking that what are the mistakes you intend to correct that your principal has made?
Okay, the mistakes that my principal have done.
Yes.
That I need to correct.
Yes.
Well, the mistakes are in every sector. When you take education, when you take health, when you take agri, when you take finance, there are mistakes there. And what you gather is from the civil service or the public service. When you get it and analyze it, you will be able to see that. And that is what I am going to do. For example, if we talk about the issue of education, yes, education is compulsory and free in Kano State. But we gather experts that they call themselves professionals from Jigawa and Kano. And these are people of integrity, and these are people that are professionals in that field. And they said education can never be free completely. They said it's something that you have to incorporate the community in taking part. They are the ones to also supplement the part of the free aspect of education. And so that idea is from the professionals and also stakeholders in Kano State. We can consider that and sit down and see what they mean by that. A lot of people are talking about that. And then see how we can be able to improve on that policy that we have done. This is one example that I want to give on my principle.
Okay. If you can hear me.
In our government.
Okay, can you hear me?
Education is key and paramount.
Okay, so my next question will be, why did you have to wait till you are now vying for this position before you help your principal correct some of these mistakes that he made? Because the whole idea of you being a deputy is being like a helper, you know, in coming up with ideas, formulating ideas that will better the lives of the people of Kano State. So why did you have to wait till when you now want to vie for this position before coming up with these mistakes that your principal made? Why didn't you do it while you wait? Because you're part of the administration that you claim to have made these mistakes.
These ideas or suggestions, these ideas and or suggestions are being brought when we are being engaged recently by the stakeholders or by those professionals. And when they mention it, I have seen wisdom in it, that we have to sit down and rethink about it. And that is why I said that it is something that you have to sit down and screen the government, screen it, get the public yearnings, access it, and see. When you assess it and find out that yes, it did not tally with the yearning of your people, then you can be able to bring about change in those ideas or policies or implementation of the programs.
Thank you very much. We also know that you were once the chairman of local government. And the question is, how do you intend to bring development to the grassroots, knowing that, yes, you were once upon a time the chairman of the local government?
I have been, yes, the local government, the chairman of my own local government for 2 terms. My records are there for what I have done in the local government. And I am somebody that knows what local government administration means. And I have always said that I will give local government their own independence so that they will be able, because during my time, I have been given my own independence. I have to say that I respect my governor, that he has given us the independence that we have operated. And we have made a lot of scores in our own local government. Not only me, the 44 local government chairmen, we have done that. And I think I have to reciprocate that. And I have to give that because I know local government is an integral part of the government, and they are the ones that are close to the grassroots. I will do that in my own style of leadership because I know what I have been as a local government chairman.
Yes, the people are actually yearning, you know, for change and all of that. And the question is, I want for you to tell them, I mean, you're looking at, they're listening to you now, they're under the influence of your voice. What are the 5 cardinal things you want to make a change, you know, in Kano State? The 5 cardinal changes you want to make once you're elected as the governor of Kano State.
Okay. 5 cardinals. Okay.
Yes.
Number 1, I have to continue with the issue of security in Kano State. Kano State has enjoyed the security it deserves, and there is nobody that can now come and say that Kano State is not peaceful in whatever ramification. Kano is secured. Kano has been very peaceful, both in terms of securing the lives and property of people, and then the issue of coexistence between the religious group and the ethnic backgrounds. And so that will be one of the principal cardinals that I will have to maintain, and I will make sure that Kano is being secured. the issue of education has always been something of priority to the northern part of Nigeria, not only Kano. And it's something that I will take seriously, and I will make sure that the desired education and the right one on the right way with the right partners is being maintained. The aspect of agriculture is something that 70% of the people of Kano State in the rural areas are farmers, are dwellers. And I have been the Commissioner of Agriculture for 7 years. I have made a lot of changes when I was the Commissioner of Agriculture on that area. And I will maintain that and make sure that we have brought about the desired progress in terms of agriculture and in terms of employment and empowerment programs for the youths. When the youths engage in agriculture,
okay,
they will never go differently from agriculture. I have seen that. We have empowered several youth and women on that, and I have seen how they have been working on that. And then
okay,
Kano State is a state of commerce. The issue of commerce is something that I have taken seriously.
I'm afraid this is the much we have time for.
With commercial,
if you can hear me, thank you, Your Excellency, for the time you have spent with us. I'm sure the people of Kano are listening to you, are under the influence of your voice, and they will do the needful come Saturday. I'm afraid this is the much we have time for on the ballot today. The ballot will be back tomorrow, same time. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for joining us on the ballot.
Thank you very much. I am praying, I'm urging my people in Kano State to be as peaceful as possible. The issue of leadership, governance, and whatever in life is something of destiny from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that's the much we have time for on the ballot today. Thank you for joining us. It's 3 days away from Saturday's elections. We are imploring you to do the needful. Use your PVC wisely and make the choice, that would change your life for good. I'm Tekla Wilkie. See you next time.